morning. My name is Lorrie. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. We just got back in to the Michigan cabin yesterday, so I am organizing and pulling things together and giving you some updates on this video. I pretty much didn't get anything done because we were traveling and traveling and then traveling some more. So I have a list of things that I brought back with me to share with you. First of all, and the big news, the boat is now in for fishing. So when we have company next week, the guys can go out fishing and have a good time. It should be. I hope the fishing goes pretty well this year. We are having a fish fry on Sunday for my birthday, and that brings me to the first thing I want to talk about. My friend Kelly, I got to see her this time when we were home, and she bought me a new quilt rack. And I told her it might not stay in West Virginia, it might migrate north. And so I did decide to bring that with me. It is beautiful. Look at these turned legs on this. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is going in my bedroom here at the cabin because we have a lot of quilts. It gets colder here in the winter, and in the next couple days they're calling for 40s at night. So I think I will need the quilt rack here more than I will need it in West Virginia. So it is here. Thank you, Kelly. You pick wonderful gifts. Another thing, speaking of birthday presents, happy birthday to me. My husband took me to Joann Fabrics, and he said while he was in a generous mood, I should pick some things for my birthday. So I bought myself a pinking blade for the rotary cutter, so I don't have to cripple myself using pinking shears to trim out those football blocks. I did, while I was rooting around in my stuff in West Virginia, come across this little cutter that has, it's tiny. I don't even remember buying this. It must have been in some yard sale stuff at one point. It has a regular blade, and it has a zigzag blade. So I don't remember. It'll be useful for something, I'm sure. So I'll put it in with the little box of things like the pedal maker and the yo-yo maker that I carry back and forth from one house to the other, so that I always have those around until I buy a second one of those. You never know what you might find at a yard sale or an estate sale. Oh, and let's just talk about this mess that I brought back with me. And as we unloaded the car yesterday, and we didn't have a lot of things, but as we unloaded the car, I brought things in and I put them in the sewing area. So here they are, all piled on the chair so they're not in the way anywhere else. And they're piled on the ironing board. And now I'm going to have to do some cleaning, whether I want to or not, because you just can't move and there's no place to sit. So I will have to take care of this big old piled mess that I brought back from traveling, but all of it has a use. For example, I brought this quilt hoop to live in Michigan. I have two of these, and you've seen me do machine quilting and quilting on the big machine. I have not done too much hand quilting. I did hand quilt something one time when my son was, and now he's in his 30s, he was playing Little League baseball. He was probably in 4th grade. I sat in the car, and if I wasn't grading papers because I was a teacher, I was working on a hand quilt that I gave to my friend Barb. It probably saved the coach's life. Just saying, just saying. He was not a very nice man to my son. And so I had to stay busy and stay away from him so that I didn't make a fool of myself. So I haven't done a lot of hand quilting, and I plan on using this lovely thread and quilting this row by row for my granddaughter. And I'm going to, my plan, and you know I always have big plans, my plan is to do that all by hand and do it here at the cabin, and then gift it to her at the end of summer. My daughter-in-law will love it. So, and it's cute. It has a lot of wintry theme rows, so it will be perfect for Michigan because this is the winter wonderland, you know. I have binding fabric / backing fabric, this lovely stripe. I think will do a great job because it seems to go with the theme, and even though it's red and green, kind of Christmassy, it'll be all right. It'll be perfect for a quilt for a 2-year-old. And I've been carrying this fabric around for a while, wondering what in the world I was going to do with it. And now I think it has found its perfect use. And I love stripy fabrics on the binding. So even if I don't use it for the backing, it will be great as binding. I also picked up fabric to use. Now, you remember that I used snowflakes, bright colorful snowflakes on a gray or black background for the January, February, March blocks on the weather quilt. Wow, I'm not using snowflakes for April, May, and June. So I found this floral that has a black background and it has bright flowers. It will be perfect for those 3 months, April, May, and June, springtime. I also brought back snap and eyelet pliers. I seem to have 3 of these that, you buy a lot of stuff, a box, a lot, like you would at an auction, at a yard sale, and sometimes there's treasures down in there. So I found some eyelets here earlier at Vinnie's and bought them, and so now I have some things to work with to do other things, and these will just live here and stay here. I brought with me the alphabet block book. I bought this on clearance one time for probably $3. I love this book. And I have a couple other books that have alphabets. I think I'll put Scarlet in big blocks down the back of her quilt. I think that would be fun. And that way they can never get rid of it. Just saying. Unless they find somebody else named Scarlet. I also dug my design book out of hiding. I've been working in this book since, let me look and see. Because I date things. I don't know if I didn't put a date on that first page. I didn't put a date on the second page. I don't know when I started dating things. Oh, I don't know. Might be quite a ways in here before I started to date things. I started labeling and writing more things, but I didn't always date things. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait, there's a date. June of 2015 is the first date that appears. And it doesn't have a date on the outside cover. But that book's almost full. I need to get myself another one of those because I think I used to design when we'd go on big trips. And one time when we were driving across Kansas, I designed several quilts and or blocks that I need to fine-tune and share with people. So I need another book like that. I need to fill that one up the rest of the way and another book. The next thing I brought back with me, it's right here behind me. You can see the blue and the red and the yellow. I did bring back, these are crazy quilt blocks. There are actually 10. I only put 5 up on the board. They are crazy quilt blocks. They are from the Quilt Cutter board. I know how to do it without the board. Kind of a stack and whack deal. And there are 10 pieces. That's why I have 10 of each color. And at home I have another color lined up. I think it takes a 10-inch square, and then by the time you're all done chopping it up, you end up with a 6.5-inch square. So I love this little block. And the next series is going to be on embellishing. So I thought I'd bring these back, and this could be part of the embellishment series because crazy quilt blocks lend themselves so well to be embellished. So that was my motivation for that. And then last but not least, today, before my company gets here, I need to do some organizing because my friend doesn't sew, but I need to be able to get back here to sew when I have some free time because I like to sew a little bit every day, even if it's just a little bit, or even if it's just hand sewing. And if I can't get to my space because it's a disaster area, then I'm a very unhappy camper. So I need to use this lovely rack that I brought back with me to organize this fabric mess that is living in my area and in front of the door. And the rack, I believe, will move easier than the little table on wheels. So I have my work cut out for me before they get here Saturday afternoon. Yeah, that's tomorrow, after this video is released. So I hope you are all being productive and you're enjoying fresh air and sunshine. Hopefully your area of our country is getting enough rain and not too much rain. Stay safe, have fun, and don't forget to wear your sunscreen. And I will see you on Monday for one of the last two. There's only two episodes of applique left. So I will see you on Monday for one of those last two episodes. Probably will be short and sweet. Have a great weekend. Bye.